Guys, I'm here to bring you guys another DDD deck profile. I finally found what works after all the tweaking and tuning and everything. I hope you guys enjoy the deck profile, and I hope if you try this deck, I hope everything works out for you just like it works for me. Alright, and without further ado, I will go ahead and start it. First is 3 Kepler. You really need this card. He's your basic searcher of the deck, and you need 3 to search out your dog contract with the gate. Next is 3 Abyss King Ragnarok, Oblivion Abyss King Ragnarok. You need this card because when he's normal or special, he specials another triple D from grave, and he contributes another DD to banish a monster on field. So it really helps set up. It really gets rid of those problem monsters. 2 Rebel King Leonidas. I like his effect. How whenever you burn from contract, he specials, and sometimes he can save the game because your opponents will leave you at like 1,000 or less than 1,000, and then you'll draw him, and then you'll burn, and then he specials, and then you gain that back. So, and you don't take any more damage from your contracts too. So he specials like a Cyber Dragon, and he's a level 7, helps you go into rank 7 plays, and he's 26 too. He beats over a good amount of stuff. Next is 3 Swirl Slime or Tourbillon Slime. And, if you're reading French, you just dish this one and another DD from hand to go ahead and fusion something into your D arc. Next is Double Necro Slime. I used to run 3, but 3 clogs pretty much, and you do need space for other cards too. And then you can, this is not the only card you can use to fusion too. So next is 2 DD Bear Ferment. He provides protection for your monsters, so because he goes into Wave King Caesar, and Wave King Caesar is the protection and everything. So you need this one, but just know that whenever you use this effect, you can only special summon DD monsters for the rest of the turn, so you can't go into anything else. Next is Double Maxi. Either people take the challenge and you draw into your combo pieces, or they don't. And Maxi really helps. The card's good against just about any deck. And that's the last 2 monsters. That's 17 monsters. Next is 3 Contract with the Gate. Best spell card in the deck. You search out any monster that you need on any given time whenever you activate this card. I played 2 Warflails. This card is phenomenal because it gives you your second search if you control a level 1 already. So if you already have a Kepler in hand, and say you have a Swirl Slime in hand, and you have a Necro that's in your deck, and you already have a Kepler on field, you just activate this, and then you just go ahead and search out your other combo piece and go ahead and go into it, and then you burn for 2,000 damage. And if you have a Leonidas or you have a D-Arc, you either special or gain damage. So you're only plussing from this. I run 2 Mass Change a second, partially because I couldn't find anything else, and this helps me go into Dark Law. I don't see any reason to go into Anki besides the fact that Anki can attack directly for half damage, and that does help to jump over monsters. And some people run Creature Swap, but I personally do not like Creature Swap because it can kind of be dead sometimes with the Battle Faders. And then people will just Battle Faders just susceptible to like Vanity's Emptiness. And this helps you you use this and you can dump a Necro Slime also, and then go into Dark Law, and then go into potentially a D-Arc or a big fusion if you want to. I run 2 Allure of Darkness. This card is just draw power. What I usually do, I usually just search out like a Leonidas and then banish the Leonidas, because Leonidas is not essential. You only need him because we don't have the OCG support. So yeah, you just search out first, and then so you can +1 without sending your whole entire hand, because that would suck. These should be triple Twin Twister. You can run 2, but I prefer 3 because you need back row hate, and the deck does lose a good back row. So yeah, 3 Twin Twisters. For spell cards for the 1-ofs, 1 Transmodify. I don't think you would even be using 2 in a game. I think you only use 1 in a game if you even get to this card. But it is great when you get to it, because you can D-Arc out for Ragnarok, and he specials back, and he can in Ragnarok contribute to banish. This one, Swamp King, your other fusion thing. The other fusion card, you just banish or send from your hand or field, and you'll fusion pretty quickly and easily. It helps you go into the big fusion. Raigeki, because it's Raigeki clear boards, and 1-for-1 because you don't want to use your normal summon on Kepler or anything. Or you can go into your Effect Veiler or Glow Up Bulb, whatever you are running currently at the time. For the trap cards, we have starting off with Double Mirror Force because Cosmos can't be targeted. And the blue eyes, they seem to attack a lot and everything. You can get rid of them too, and some of them can be targeted. So yeah, go ahead and Mirror Force to get rid of them. Next is double Blazing Mirror Force. Quaking, I would rather pick up Quaking, but I don't have Quaking right now. But I like this card because it does damage to you, which makes you let you special Leonidas or gain life points from D-Arc's effect. And then your opponent just takes damage, so it puts a difference between your life points and your opponent's life points. One Dark Contract with errors. You only need one. It's because it's a trap stun, and you have to control a DD to activate. It's kind of like it's a trap stun for the turn. It's continuous, and if your opponent ever flips an iron wall on you to stop you from using these two, then your opponent lost because you don't want to play against trap cards either. And then you can just go off on them. And Solemn Warning because it's Solemn Warning, and then Witch because it's a continuous Raigeki break, and it boosts your Fiends by 1,000 during your opponent's turn, so you can actually use it on Majesty's Fiend and Vanity's Fiend, and it does boost those as well. Alright, that was it for the main deck, so let's go ahead and get into the extra. Next is triple Oracle King D-Arc. This will probably go down to 2 when the OCG support comes in. But yeah, for now you need 3 because it's your main fusion. It's what you always want to have on board at all times. 1 Wave Oblivion King Caesar Ragnarok. The big fusion that I was talking about that Swamp King lets you go into. You can run 1 or 2. 2 is okay, but I'd rather run 1 because I need space in my extra deck for other cards. And he gets over Dark Destroyer being 32 and everything. 1 Dark Law. You can run 2. I could run 2, or you can run 2. I do have 2 mass changes in the deck. That's just to get to it quicker, and then mass change. The other one would be fodder, but yeah, you can run a second Dark Law if you want. But Dark Law punishes Monarchs because they do a lot of like the Erebus sending to the graveyard. He's a walking macro. All right, for my synchros, I run Scrap Dragon and Ignister. I would rather have Beals and Scarlight, but I don't have either one of those cards at the moment. We all know Scrap Dragon. I like Scrap Dragon because he's basically a Diamond Dire once per turn, and you can use any card, not just a certain type. And Ignister, we all know about the pop a Pendulum Monster and then spin a card in the field back to the hand, and he does not target. That is really helpful if you're playing against Cosmos. He's another out. It's like Dark Destroyer and Dark Planet, things like that. For the XCs, 1 Ghost Trick Dullahan. What he does, you detach him from him. You target a monster you target one monster your opponent controls, and its attack is halved. He really helps when your opponent's attack swinging at one of your monsters. So he really helps, and it combos well with Harbinger Dragon. 1 Wave King Caesar. He's like the sole charge of the deck. You detach from him, and all the monsters that were destroying your side of the field are special back at the end of the battle phase. And if you have a D-Arc on board, then you gain the life points for those anyway. And he'll come back without material, just so you know. And when he dies, you can add a Dark Contract. He searches out a Dark Contract card when he dies. 1 Marksman King Tell. This card is very situational, but I did use it against Cosmos because he had Kaiser Coliseum on field, and I had this and a gate that was burning me, and he had Tin Can. So what was happening is that I was detaching, and then I was targeting himself, and then to lose 1,000 because Tin Can's 0/0. Tin Can's never ever going to swing over this card. So you detach because he had 1,600 life points. In 2 turns, I beat him because I detached and burned him for 2,000. For the rank 7s, I run a Big Eye because you need outs sometimes to, cards that you can't get over sometimes. You just take them, and then Black Flare. Because a lot of times you'll be attacking, and then you'll leave your opponent at like 300 or 400 life points, or maybe even 5, and then you just summon him, and then you just win. For the rank 8s, I have a Kali Yuga and a Hope Harbinger Dragon, because this card he can negate and attach the card to himself as XYZ material, and whenever your opponent would attack, you can detach from him, and he becomes the attack target instead. So that's why I'm saying he combos well with Dullahan because you detach from him, and then the attack target becomes him, and then you detach from Dullahan, and then the attack is halved, and then your opponent's going to take damage. And Kali Yuga is the best card in the deck. He's a Cold Wave on summon, and you can detach from him. He's a Heavy Storm. He's a Cold Wave on summon, and he can set a Dark Contract card from the grave. For the side deck, I run 2 Samurai Cavalry of Rep Tier because they're like little constructs that kill anything that's not a Pendulum Monster. I run double Veiler. That's why I have the 2 synchros. Double Veiler. I like him better than Glow Up Bowl because of the effect of this card during your opponent's turn, and it being a tuner as well, so you can go into all those crazy plays. Next is one Dark Contract Errors, because when you might need the second one, because a lot of times your opponent will try to space this card or twin switch this card, get rid of it, because it locks them under Vanity's Emptiness, which people will flip on you, and Anti-Spell Fragrance, which will get flipped on you also. So yeah, this stops both of those cards. Then Typhoon. This is mainly for if you're playing against Domain Monarchs, and then they go Domain in March, and then you just activate this card from your hand and pop the Domain. Next is Double Iron Wall. This card is very, very good against Cosmos, because they won't be able to banish or float into the ships or anything like that when you attack their monsters. Next is Triple Light Imprisoning Mirror. This because Cosmos are all light and your deck is all dark, and so are Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes, stops the effect of mating with Eyes of Blue, so you can go ahead and do whatever you want against the Blue Eyes deck. The next is 3 Griselle Prisons. Very good against BAs. Very good against Blue Eyes, because Blue Eyes synchros and BA's XYZ summons, and this stops the XYZ summon, and it stops synchro summoning, and it negates their effects, and they won't be able to attack. So yeah, that was my side deck. If you guys have anything to say, please rate, subscribe. I would really appreciate all the feedback, and you guys have a good day. All right, bye.